Hello, I'm Mike Murphy, a member of the Tacoma Scrambling Committee. In this short video, I hope to help you find the right boots to use when scrambling. In this class, you'll travel on and off trail, up and down rocks and scree, and negotiate steep snow slopes. Probably the single most important piece of equipment you'll need is proper boots. In this brief video, I hope to help you better understand what to wear for safety and success on your trips. It seems like there are thousands of choices to make when shopping for a boot. Boot makers are trying hard to meet your individual needs, but sorting through all the information can be daunting. When doing research online, there seems to be more information on hiking boots or technical high-altitude climbing boots. We are looking for boots in between these two categories. There are many light 3- or 4-season mountaineering boots to choose from. These are ideal for the terrain we'll be covering in the course. What you'll end up doing on club scrambles after the course will vary greatly, but light mountaineering boots will work for most things. Like many of us, you'll probably end up with more than one pair of boots to get you to all the places you want to explore. Now, let's take a look at the boots I use.
So let's talk about boots. This is your generic hiking boot. This is just a lightweight summer boot. Very flexible, very comfortable, probably waterproof to a certain degree, but this is just not going to make it for your class. The bottoms just aren't going to grip the rock like you want them to. This flexibility is just going to bend when you try to kick snow. It's not going to give you a good platform for a crampon. This is for trail walking, and if this is the kind of boot you got, you're going to have to look into getting something a little better. So next up from a standard hiking boot is like a backpacking boot. This is a much more rigid shank. This boot is for carrying heavier loads. And this boot may work for the class. My wife actually went through our scrambling course in this pair of boots right here. You will be able to kick steps in with this. You will be able to put a adjustable crampon on this. And it will be okay on the rock. The one thing you want to notice on the bottom of your standard hiking or backpacking boot is that these edges just aren't all that rigid. They're more for gripping rock as you're walking and not for grabbing an edge. And when we're climbing rock, we might want to stand on a little outcropping like that. And this is just, as you can see, just kind of torn up and won't really do that well. So if you go up to the light mountaineering boot, this is really what you're going to be looking at for the class. This is a Salewa, but any of the brands will do as long as it's a light mountaineering boot. As you can see, this one's got lots of miles on it. It's probably getting towards the end of its life. But one of the things right here that you'll notice is that it's got a more rigid toe and a bigger platform right here. It actually even says climbing zone, just to indicate what it's doing. And that is for catching that little tip right there and holding on. This is better for putting on a crampon, and it's a lot more rigid too. So that shank will give you the protection you need and the rigidity you need as you're going through snow and rock. At the end of the spectrum, for our purposes anyway, is a 4-season boot. This is very, very rigid. This does not bend. This bottom will grip like nobody's business. You will be able to get that toe on a rock. You'll be able to put a crampon on here. You'll be able to kick steps. This does everything. What it doesn't do is give you comfort. This thing, if it doesn't fit perfectly, will completely shred your foot on approach. Well, on any type of use. So make sure if you're going to get a boot like this, it fits perfectly. And second of all, just know that you're not going to be walking miles over trails with these things. Your approach will be miserable if you think you're going to be backpacking in these for a couple of days or even going on a 4 or 5 mile hike in. So you've got a lot to consider when it comes to boots, but here kind of gives you the spectrum of what we're looking at for our class.
A couple of final things to think about. Mountaineering boots don't break in. They break you in. Don't compromise on fit. There are different insoles that you can use to alter the volume and support of your boots. Remember to try these to tailor your boots if they don't fit right out of the box. Also consider wearing liner socks with your climbing socks. These may also help boots to fit properly. Remember to bring these socks with you when you're trying on your boots. If you already have boots that aren't mountaineering boots but you want to use them for the class, wear them to our first field trip and talk to your team leaders about them. If you have any questions about boots or anything else, send me or any instructor an email. We're glad to help. I hope this clears a few things up. I can't wait to see you guys out there on the mountain.